Hello traders, this is a technical analysis video for GROCK USDT, but I want to take this opportunity and to give you my take on how I try to apply technical analysis to relatively new coins with no chart history. My aim is not that you will be dependent on me for charting or for anything else. My aim is to give you my best effort so that you will become an independent trader and that you will be able to make decisions by yourself. So, this technical analysis session will serve as a tutorial, and as such, it will be a bit longer. And I apologize for taking your precious time, but I hope that it will not be wasted. The target when we come to apply technical analysis to new coins is that technical analysis relies on past records, on past history. We need to know uh, the possibility of time cycles that are uh, related to the asset that we are trading. We need to know if there are established support and resistance levels. And all this data is missing when we are analyzing a brand new coin with almost no chart history. And our toolkit, when we try to apply TA to such an asset, is very diminished. And you should know that from the beginning. But even a little is still more than zero. It's something at least, and we can try to apply this knowledge. First thing is that we should display the asset on an arithmetic chart. A logarithmic chart is not necessary when the chart history is so um, short, okay? So you go to the settings on your chart and you check regular, okay? Now let's look for support and resistance levels and supply and demand zones. By the way, if you don't know how to apply supply and demand zones, please write it in the comments and I will refer to that in a future video. And we can see very nicely that the area between 005, let's say 0055 and 0062 has served us as support numerous days, so we draw this level as a possible support level for the future. We don't know if the asset will ever get there, but it is something to put on the chart. Also, we have a supply zone beginning at 2 cents, proximal line at 2 cents, and the distal line at 2 point, almost 2.3 cents. So we draw this area as well. It doesn't mean that price will necessarily pull back when it gets to the demand zone, but it is a sign for us and a possible take profit point. Now, the 3 cent level is resistance, of course, because it is the all time high. So we will mark it as resistance. And we also have the previous all time high, which could also serve as resistance. And we will mark it also at 2.5 cents. Now, we want to forecast possible targets and also to know if there are support and resistance levels. And for that, I use either the Gann numbers or Fibonacci numbers. Here I will use Fibonacci numbers because they seem to work better. And we will begin with a fib retracement. Fib retracements are always from the left to the right, and in this case, from the low to the high. I pull my fibs all the way to include the wicks, and I think that this way is better, but some traders pull fibs only from candle body to candle body. But you can see here that this way is better, at least in my opinion. Why? Because first we discovered that the point 786 fib retracement is support, okay? So we can expect in the future, or we will check in the future, if the point 786 is support again, okay? Second is that the fib retracement also gives us resistance levels, and we can see that the point 382 at 1.6 cents almost is acting as resistance. You can see that price is trying to get above the point 382 fib, and currently it's an ongoing battle, and I don't know if it will succeed or not, but I do know that the point 382 fib could be a level to watch in the future. Okay, now let's try and pull fib extensions and we'll see what we'll see. Let's pull a trend based fib extension from, just a second, from the low to the high and to the low again, and we see that the all-time high, which was the next high after this one, made it between the 1 and the 1.272, which is actually a very common target. It is so common that I subdivide this level and I add the 1.091 and the 1.182. And you can see that the all-time high reached the 1.091. My train of thought works like this. If it reached the 1.091 once, maybe in the future it will reach the same level again. But let's go and try to pull another fib retracement, and let's see what we'll see, okay? Because we are on a new chart and we are making things up as we go along, okay? From the low, from the left to the right, okay? And what do we have here? Was the 0.786 level support? Not quite. It almost touched the 0.786, but it didn't. But we do have one additional data point, is that the retracement on this coin, at least until now, have been deep, but maybe they will become shallower on the next low that it will make. On the next low that GROCK will make, I will favor maybe not the 786, a bit higher. Maybe I will subdivide this level, or maybe I will look to the 0.618. Okay, now as for resistance, the point 0.5, which is relatively close to the previous 0.382, is clearly acting as resistance. You can see that price tried to get above it once and twice. So this level is a level to watch. We also have an additional confluence with our supply zone, because the 0.382 fib retracement, which when we pull it from the left to the right, from the low to the high, gives us resistance levels. Okay, the 0.382 has the confluence of this supply zone, so it gives more confluence for a reaction when and if and when the price will get to this supply zone. Now, let's try and pull a fib extension. Maybe it will help us to find targets. For that, I am assuming that we already made the law, but at the moment it is just an assumption, it's not sure. It could be that price will retreat further. Okay? Remember, it is a new chart and we are making things up as we go. Trading Bitcoin is easy, but trading a coin with no chart history is not as easy. Okay? Now, what could be the next target for GROK? Let's say this is between the 1 and the 1.272, so possibly the 1.09 at almost 4 cents, 3.9 cents could be our target. Does it mean that price has to get there? No. Does it mean that price will stop there? Also no. But it's a level to watch, and this is how we study the chart and study the price action for this asset if we are going to trade it. Because if we are going to trade this asset, we need to know the ins and outs of the asset, okay? It's not as simple as putting a long or a short trade on MEXC and hoping for the best. We are trying to be as professional and as thorough as we can. So we are not into gambling. We are into trading, okay? There is a difference. It's not the same. Also, I drew a nice trend line. You can clearly see that this asset is in an uptrend, and I would have liked the asset to touch the trend line because trend lines represent two axes. I already said it in many videos, price and time. And therefore, they are stronger than just horizontal levels. So, if price would have touched this trend line and reacted, I would have had more confidence in this chart. Also, let's see if it has confluence with the fib retracement. Let's see. Not this fib retracement. This fib retracement, maybe. Yeah, it could be, but it's not certain. However, still, we need to understand we are trading a new chart, and when we are accepting or making trade decisions, you need to have a lot of courage and maybe not a lot of brains to trade these coins because we don't know truly, we don't know what we are doing. So my advice is that if you are trading this coin, use low leverage, okay? Or better yet, don't use leverage at all, just buy spot and trade only in assets that you have a very high degree of conviction about, because you will need this conviction to hold on to your trade, because it's not as easy as some people make it to be. And the reality of the trading business is that most traders lose money, especially if they are trading with high leverage, and especially if they are trading often, meaning over trading. Okay? So you need to know all these facts. This is the bare bones about the business of trading. That's all I have for you on GROK and on charting a new coin. I hope it helps you. If there is anything missing from my TA, or if there is anything else that you think that I should have done, please write it in the comments. The point of all this is that we will learn from each other and that we will get better together. Okay? Thank you and goodbye.